This episode of the Camp Staff Podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It is a free application, so all you have to do is download it on your phone or go to the website anchor.fm to get started. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will actually distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker Audio, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So if you don't have any people listening to you or listen to your podcast, or if you don't have anyone that likes you, you can still make money if at least one person does. And it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Anchor.fm. Download the App Store today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Camp Staff Podcast. I'm your host, David. Joined with me is your other host, Zach.
Yo, what is up, my diggity dogs? Welcome to the Camp Staff Podcast, episode 27, which is the most wild number I could ever think of.
Why is that?
Because it's bigger than 26. Dummy head.
Excellent observation, Zach. Did you know
Thank you.
that we have a special co-host this episode?
A special co-host? How
Yeah.
special?
He's special, all right. I'll give you that much.
He's extremely special.
Everybody welcome Scotty to the show.
What is up, gamers?
And gamerettes.
And gamerettes.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
I had Tijuana Flats for dinner tonight.
You
Really?
did?
What'd you have?
Yeah. Bro, their flautas are great. Tijuana Flats, if you want to sponsor us, that'd be nice.
Yeah, hit us up.
Hashtag sponsor us,
Yeah.
Tijuana Flats.
Hashtag ad. No, I'm just kidding. We also have a guest this episode.
Really?
Zach, would you like to
Wow.
introduce her?
All right. Introduce her. Oh my goodness, a female on Camp Staff Podcast.
Gasp.
Like that. This is a rare occasion, everybody.
Yeah.
Very rare. Because mostly the male gender asks to be on the show because there are higher numbers and staff at Boy Scout camps than than females. Because
Statistically,
Boy
we
Scout.
do stupider things.
Statistically, we are stupider in multiple.
Well,
Yes.
statistically, we're only stupider because there's so many of us. There's so many
'Cause we go to
chances for us
Jupiter.
to be stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we go to Jupiter.
Of course.
All right, let's welcome Kaitlyn to the show. Clap, 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 clap.
Clap.
Hi guys.
Hi there.
I was
How
trying
are
to
ya?
clap, but like my microphone would not pick it up. Like,
I was going to do a golf clap, but then I just started saying clap instead.
you're just golf clapping, but nobody can hear you because the golf clap is just,
It's just this.
Oh, I can kind of hear it. Let's go. Pog.
All right.
Pretty
So,
pog champ moment.
How's
That's a pog
everyone
channel.
doing this fine 9:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
It's all right. I'm surprised that we're not recording around midnight like we usually do.
Yeah, it's
That's
interesting.
a first. We're actually close to being on schedule.
This
just
is probably
20
the
minutes
closest
late.
we've ever been on schedule to our standard 9:30 recording time.
Yep.
And most of the time we get on here at 9, we mess around, and then it's like, oh, wait, yeah, we should probably record.
Yep. And there we go.
We were doing that today, talking about all the games being released.
Yeah. Whoa, talking about being released. This is being released like a couple weeks in the future. So right now it's actually June 18th. Episode 15 or season 2, episode 3 has come out.
You don't have any events on your calendar for today.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
all right.
Thanks,
That's
Indian
a great
Surrey.
start. This is released in the future. So what we're going to be talking about
Time travel.
may be different once this episode comes out.
So
Sorry if it's
this
outdated.
is the future. COVID-19 has killed us all. Summer camp is postponed. We are all incredibly
Again.
sad. We are eating 5-gallon tubs of ice cream. We are
Nope.
depressed.
We're
We are
starting-
eating
so-
our own toes.
I'm cutting that out.
Okay.
Hashtag talk in the shower game.
And so Kaitlyn, since you've worked at a summer camp before, what areas or area have you worked at?
I've only worked at handicraft because
Oh.
that's the only area I really knew.
Handicraft.
Mind blown.
Hopefully the slaps and the claps got into my mic. because I almost knocked my headphones off. So
I was like, our little camp slogan for handicraft is like throwing our like, is it real?
Like a question? Handicraft?
handicraft. Is it very handy or is it very crafty?
So let me tell you the legend of a CIT. It was his starting year. He was a young lad. He had two brothers who also worked at the camp before him. So he had big shoes to fill. So what he does is, as a CIT, he comes up with the most legendary catchphrase that still haunts our camp to this very day. It's handicraft, mind blown. But how he said it was like an 11-year-old girl had said it.
He said it sounded a little something like this. Handicraft, mind blown.
It sounded exactly like that. And ever since then, we have not stopped reminding him. To this day, he still works at the camp. Oh, well, no, this is his last year was his retiring year. But nobody would let him live it down.
Yeah.
Was it always in the high-pitched voice, too?
No, because as he evolved, he kind of stuck with it. He kind of made it his thing. So
His high pitched voice.
he does have kind of a high-pitched voice as it is, but, you know.
Yeah, but he's a great man.
He's a good
He's
man.
legendary. He's left a legacy.
He works
for
at
us
Kung
all.
Pao Chicken now.
Really?
Yeah.
He works at a Chinese restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
It's pretty funny.
So Kaitlyn, let's just get right on. Let's just get this ship sailing. You want to tell us some great fun stories?
Oh, yes. So last summer, they decided to like add extensions to our dining hall because there wasn't enough room for everyone to have the same meal at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they added onto it. But they chose like the cheapest construction company in the world. So we had so many problems with this dining hall the whole summer. Like during our staff week, the pipes would get clogged all the time. So everyone got sent off to go like put their lodges together. And Eaglebound is usually in a teepee, but we had lost their teepee that summer. And when we came back for lunch, we saw all of Eaglebound digging up all the pipes and trying to help the construction company like clean out the pipes, even though that wasn't like their job at all.
So with like the dining hall, were like the walls just exploding? Like
No, it was just like the bathrooms were filling up with water. Yeah, and then we'd have to like mop it out and fan it out and everything.
What you're saying is that your camp sunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. So that reminds me of a story I had. It was my third summer. It was my third summer. And me and my friend, let's just say his name is Ryan because that's his actual name. And and
He's been on the show.
Yeah, he's been on the show. And so we went to the restroom in the dining hall, all right, and I flushed the toilet, and after I did my business, and the water started rising like normal, and
I don't think it normally rises.
Yeah, I think it sinks
it
first.
sinks,
Yeah.
it sinks, and then starts rising. It sunk in, and then it started rising. And I was like, okay, but it started rising at an abnormal rate. And I was like, Ryan, he was just taking a taking a poop at the time. I said, Ryan, watch out. He said, what? And he just sees like an ocean, like a tidal wave of just poop water just coming out from onto his feet. And I think he screeched like a little girl, like, oh my God, what the Zach? And I was like, and I was like, sorry. And I just did this. I did this, and it never has let me down. So what I did was I just shoved my hand into the toilet and grabbed whatever it was that clogged it. Worst decision in my life.
Zach.
gosh.
I unclogged the toilet. It was
At
a
what
bunch of
cost?
It was paper towels.
Was it worth it?
It was paper towels stuck in the toilet.
Ugh.
I saved the day. I saved the camp's water bill. Everything was happy at
But
the
again,
end of the
ask
day.
yourself, was it worth it?
It was worth it. I was like a superhero at camp because I saved the day. I saved the
built a
toilet from
statue of you.
overflowing.
They built a statue of you, didn't they?
They did build a statue of me, and then they immediately burned it down
Yeah.
because it was not safe to have a statue of me there. Made
Yeah.
out of just
They didn't have
three
enough room
stick.
in the bathroom.
It was just 2 tripods and a stick in the middle though. That's my statue.
Exactly what you look like, though.
I do look like 2 tripods and a stick in the middle. So
So,
that was a pretty crappy experience.
Okay,
Pun
that was
intended.
Oh my
the whole.
God.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just waiting to just do that pun.
Yeah, I know. You told the whole story
That's
just for
what
the
the
bit.
story was about. Was just for that pun.
It was, but the story was true. And so Kaitlyn, do you have any more fun experiences like to tell?
Well, like the dining hall was just like a big issue, so we always joked that like we wanted to burn it down, but like nobody ever like actually wanted to burn it down because we had to redecorate the dining hall like 3 times the whole summer and move in and out tables and then like put up folding tables and make it look like a gross like underground church basement kind of thing. So we all just didn't really like it.
Mhm.
And every Friday we had like family night at our camp. So like all the scouts' parents would come down for the night and have dinner with us. And like all the ADs sit in the basement part of the dining hall while everyone else eats, so we can all talk to our scoutmasters and whatnot about what scouts did or didn't do. And I think I was just going up to get like some food or whatnot, and I came back down the stairs, and next thing we knew, we all smelt like something burning, but we just thought it was the kitchen because it was like right in the backyard, so we were like, oh,
Yeah.
kitchen's burning something.
Just normal stuff
and then
kitchen does.
Yeah, that's what kitchen does. But our camp director like shoots out of the bathroom hallway and just yells, "Everyone get out! There's a trash can fire!" And we're like looking at each other because we're like, "What the heck?" Like we've all been joking about it, but nobody would actually do it. Like what? And so we're at the bottom of the deck and we're trying to yell up at all the parents, and they're all just staring at us from the deck as we're yelling, "Fire! Get out!" And they just like gave us a blank stare. I'm just like, what do you mean? And we're like, move, like go out. And so we had to we continued the night, and then we did our like campfire and stuff. But everyone that was downstairs had to be investigated and checked for smoke inhalation or whatever. And then later that night, they had told us that they made an arrest for somebody because we all thought it was like somebody that was smoking a cigarette and threw it in the trash can. But they like found actual cause of it being on purpose. So we all had to be investigated, which was like terrifying. And we all check the like county jail records the next morning because we all had our day off. So we all checked the county records to see who got arrested. And we all find the mugshot of one of our medics in the county jail report saying that he got
Why'd he
arrested
do
for
it?
arson. Because there wasn't enough excitement at our camp because nobody was getting as injured as he wanted.
Got arrested for arson. Nothing's more exciting than arson, apparently.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games until someone commits arson.
It was actually in our orientation this year that we can't commit arson or we get fired.
Dang.
Well, was he fired?
Yeah, so he like borrowed a lighter from one of the other staff members and just lit a paper towel on fire and threw it in the trash can of our brand new dining hall with everyone's family sitting on top of it. And I was like, oh my goodness, like how could you do that?
Bro. That's just a big bro moment.
So, like, this guy, he sounds like a lot of he has the same tendencies as another person that we've heard about on the show. Do you guys remember Jake?
Oh yes, we recorded his episode yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
But this podcast is going to be released like a
July?
long time from now.
Sometime?
Yeah.
No, this is gonna be like August.
Not yesterday.
Yeah, this is going to be August. Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. See, we're professionals. We pre-record stuff.
Yeah.
It's not last minute.
Yeah, professional.
It's never
Yeah,
been
yeah.
last minute ever.
Never do it. We never do it
Nope.
last minute. No sir.
Dude, always plan ahead. Don't wait to get your eagle. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As of right now, like I'm getting text from my Eagle Scout coach that he's getting the polls already. So at the end of this month, I'm gonna be able to get my Eagle Scout finally, even though I'm 17 years old.
Bruh.
I'm
Yeah.
a procrastinator. What can I say? It's
Dude,
starting to cut
aren't
up.
we all though?
I know you are a procrastinator. That's why we always record the podcast last minute.
Correct.
All I can imagine is just hearing Kaitlyn's like camp director just say, "All right, guys, remember, no arson, please."
You know, this year they added.
if he's
on
anything
to
like
our-
Mark, he'd be like, okay.
It wasn't even like no
So-
fires. It was
said the-
arson as its own bullet point of don't do that or you get fired.
All right, guys. I'm just going to tell you guys, just no arson, okay?
You know,
Guys,
for
And it's
some
going
guys,
like an
please,
hour
please.
talk on why arson is bad, and that's how our staff training usually goes.
yeah.
Like our staff training like this summer, this summer we did a YPT, and basically we went to the normal YPT in like 10 to 15 minutes, and then another guy just goes through the same thing, but in like an hour.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
pretty
I was
much.
actually really about to bring that up.
Yeah,
In our staff training, we like to go over things 3 times, but slight variations every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
As of right now,
We talk
doing
about
like
fish
the
this year?
virtual summer camp at our local camp, you could easily look us up, but we can't say our camp name, or else we'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
So if you looked us up, you'd easily be able to find us, because right now we're probably one of the top virtual summer camps that are being offered right now for Boy
Yes,
Scouts.
sir.
Sir.
Over 300 people signed up for virtual summer camp this first week.
Absolutely.
Bro, I had some pretty.
But anyways,
Virtual summer camp
we have
was pretty
had a
interesting.
Zoom meeting every single day, just addressing problems that 1 or 2 people might have had. So instead of just addressing those people, they address everybody on it, and then those people don't think it's about them.
Oh, no.
So it ends up
Oh.
just being a waste of time.
And then the next meeting, the counselors then bring up the problem, and then they finally say the same thing again.
Yeah.
It's a fun circle that's happening.
Mhm. We had to have weekly meetings because
Of
we had
arson.
somebody that would take undergarments from the women's tent and like place them throughout our staff camp. And it was happening like every week. Like we'd have a meeting and they'd yell at you about it, and then it'd happen again. And then they sit us back down and they yell about it because they had no idea who it was. So they couldn't like fire anyone. They just had to have a sit down with all of us.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Who keeps taking some people's underwear?
Yeah.
What?
And then it was
Oh, no.
awkward for like all the girls that would walk around because everyone would be like, "Hey, did you drop that?" And it's like really like it wasn't normal underwear either. It was always like the designed ones or like really frilly ones, and you're just like, "That is not mine." I'm like, no.
Maybe it's an inside job.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Maybe you're
Some
the
guy
culprit
bought
and
his
you're
own
trying to
girl
get
underwear.
underwear.
It was every time I think of someone taking another person's underwear, I just think of that SpongeBob episode.
SpongeBob episode,
where,
panty raid.
where,
Yeah.
yeah, where they have a panty raid.
they take Mr. Krabs' mother's panties, and it's just like, why?
Panty raid.
All right, me boys.
He didn't even realize it was his mom's house somehow.
Yeah.
All right, me boys, we are going to commit arson.
SpongeBob, me boy, we are going to light this dining hall on fire.
Mr. Krabs, let's have a panty raid instead. Ah!
That laugh was like somehow so spot on. That probably hurt your throat, didn't it?
No,
No, wow. Hold on.
Impressive, dude.
thank you. I'm seeking a career in voice acting
Are you now?
or voiceovers
Bro, what's
in
your
a
best
world
anime
where
voice?
some guys commits arson in a dining hall.
The episode title is now just Arson.
It should be titled "That One Arson Episode."
Do you know this is kind of a dangerous topic because like in a couple weeks when this gets
It's
posted,
dangerous because fire hot, dude.
no, we
Summer
could be
camp's gonna be
predicting the
over.
future with just an episode title of Arson with how the world's current state is. You never know. With, you never
It'll be
know,
like The Simpsons or The Onion.
right? Oh, explain
be
explain the
Arson
onion
and
thing because that's
Raid.
pretty funny.
Um,
Yeah.
so The Onion recently released an article, okay, saying that they're gonna retire the Aunt Jemima.
The
first,
logo, yes, yeah.
logo, yeah.
So
And then a couple hours later, the Aunt Jemima company, the company that runs it, literally actually does discontinue the Aunt Jemima.
yeah, no,
Aunt
the
Jemima.
onion
Mo-
successfully predicted the future. If you listeners at home are unaware of what the Onion is, it's a satire news source, meaning it's all fake, but it's super funny.
Dude, the only place I get my news from is The Onion.
The only place I get my news from is Bikini Bottom Networks. So,
Yes, sir. Most trusted news source since 1999.
yep.
Yes,
Or
sir.
as a secondary source, I'd go to the Wii News channel. There's a whole
Ah.
app.
Oh yes.
Yes, sir. That's very reliable.
That's almost just as reliable as Bikini Bottom, but the Bikini Bottom news,
Bikini Bottom is more unbiased, you know?
yeah, BBC. Moving on. So, just like British
Alright.
broadcasting networks, yeah,
Yeah,
or
that's what I was thinking.
circuit. Moving on.
That actually can lead on to another story I had when I was working at a summer camp, and I was teaching the orienteering, and there is this goofball kid. Let's just say his name was
Alex.
Jacoby. Let's just say his name was Jacoby. I
Again?
like the word. No, it's a different Jacoby. Actually no. Let's just say his name is Jacob. I don't remember his name, so I'm just gonna say it's Jacob. And he was the goofball of the class. He was the one that was trying to try to make most of the jokes, but in the end, everyone just hated him and wanted him to shut up.
Well,
And
I can get behind this Jacoby character.
and Jacob one day in the middle of orienteering, he just says, "Hey Zach, what's a BBC?" And I was like, "Huh?" At the time, I actually didn't know what it meant.
Oh
'Cause I was
boy.
just tired. Well, I did know what it meant. I was just tired. I was sleep deprived, and I was just done.
Overworked,
'Cause when you're the-
underplayed, sleep
Oh,
deprived.
Oop.
Overworked,
There goes
underpaid, sleep deprived.
And so basically, what happens is that I just say, "Oh, it's the British Broadcasting Channel," you know, because
Mhm.
I know it was going to be just some inappropriate joke. I knew that. I just didn't know what the three letters meant at the time. So I just said it was the British Broadcasting Channel, and he was like, "Oh, okay," because he wanted me to say, he probably wanted me to ask him what BBC meant, or he wanted me to say what the three letters meant. So I just said British Broadcasting Channel, and he was let down when I said it, and his
That
joke was completely foiled.
That my first year was the last year that LDS was like part of Boy Scouts, right?
Mhm.
So we had like all of them show up at our camp the last week of summer, and it was like 2,000 scouts. It was the worst week ever. But a bunch of them decided to ask me if I was a virgin, and I was just like, that is not like questions you ask somebody, and then they're like, "Oh, that means it's a yes." So then they asked me if I'd ever like given a
Do the
BJ,
nasty.
and I was like, "Nope." And so the whole week they just called me BJ. I was
Oh,
like,
Bruh.
please stop.
That's
Please
gross.
stop.
Yeah, they
I
kept
do-
calling you Billie Jean, just like
yeah.
Yeah,
That,
Billie
about to say
Jean.
that's straight sexual harassment.
that is.
I know. I had to like
Did-
report. It was yeah.
Okay, I was like, did you report them about that?
Yeah,
at least?
that's
Yeah.
literally not
Yeah.
okay. That is like standard.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
OSHA.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff my first year. Like my first week I was campsite hosting, and the scoutmaster comes up to me and said, "Hey, one of my scouts caught his tent mate doing some stuff. So I think you guys just need to have a talk with him." And I was like, "We don't have
That's
those talks
not
with him. You
our
had
job
that
as staff,
talk with
like,
him."
at all.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like, that's not that's not our job.
that's not a staff job.
Also,
that's
that's not a job for a female. Like, no offense, like they don't need to know about that.
No, I really didn't.
they don't know about that. Most of them, at least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you was just yanking his crank.
Yeah.
You could, okay.
He was
Ooh,
tightening
moving
the
on.
tent strings. That's
Moving on.
all.
Moving on.
And let's just move on.
We're gonna leave it at that. Hey, Scotty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you know what this reminds me of?
What?
I should have phrased that better. Oh boy, Scotty, do you know what this doesn't remind me of?
What doesn't that remind you of, David?
That reminds us of our first year when we were instructed to give a demonstration, meaning they were trying to see how we would teach something. So we had to teach something to our bosses, right? Our future bosses, just so they can understand like the type of people we are and how we react under pressure and stuff. So I did a pretty basic thing. I kind of wanted job security. I thought I was super smart at the time because I was 15 years old. I just had a big ego about it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to teach them how to properly fold the American flag because I acted like they were campers, like new campers. Anyways, I do that. Scotty, on the other hand, this
Okay,
man,
look.
this mad
I
lad.
was 14 and dumb and living life, you know?
No, it was
Crying
not
like
dumb.
Larry.
If it was dumb, you would not have gotten hired.
Yeah, exactly.
What you showed
But-
is you showed character, and they were like, yeah, we want him on staff. So essentially, remember that bit that we had in episode 15 of the Camp Staff podcast?
Which one?
West
that
Philadelphia,
one.
right?
Oh, the Fresh Prince one.
The
where
Fresh
you-
Prince. Yeah. So
where he got into
Scotty
a
started
fight.
living out this bit, but instead of living it out, he was teaching. His demonstration was to teach our bosses, our camp director, program director, and camping services director, how to sing or how to remember all the lyrics to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. So Scotty, I want
Nice.
you to kind of go through
I'll
your
give you
thought
a-
process and give us an example of some good teaching methods when it comes to that.
so yeah,
Or I
you
can
had
give you a
like a
beat.
minute and a half to teach your thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I was speeding through it. I'd say, okay, first you got to focus on the first line. Then you got to go first and second line. Because I do this with when I remember ceremonies for the OA.
Mhm.
You know, so memorizing text is something I kind of already knew. And I had to throw a comic spin on it because, you know, that's just cool.
Oh, also, you handed out whole pieces of paper.
Oh, yeah. I was fancy with this, right? So you got to remember the first line, then go through the second line, then first and second, and like so on from there, right?
Repetition, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Muscle memory, but for the brain.
Using your noggin, you know? We had some pretty other interesting things taught there. Like one person taught how to wrangle a gator. And instead of a gator, they used a person.
Oh no, I feel like that would go bad though.
No, they actually became the ecology area director, right?
Who?
Solid.
Oh,
Alligator wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah, alligator wrestler.
Yeah. He served a good 2 years.
Yeah.
he was before he expired.
Yeah.
We didn't. Not like he died. No, I just wanted to make
Okay,
a
I was like, oh my god.
expiration joke.
Yeah.
He did not die, by the way. Or did he? I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a
I
while.
haven't talked to him in a while. Yeah. He's
He might be dead. But
It's quarantine, so you never know.
Yeah,
you know,
pretty much.
an alligator might have came into his house. It's Florida.
He knows how to protect himself.
My guess
remember.
is he's
He
moving
holds
back
the
to
law.
He
Australia.
did show how to wrestle.
He knows how to wrestle it, but sometimes if you wrestle it incorrectly, you
He
get your head chopped off.
he wrestled a large guy named, let's call him Jim. So he just wrestled Jim, and Jim was like 6'4", like 280, I think.
Oh my goodness.
He was just standing there doing nothing.
No, he was he
was
stood
hilarious.
there and then he laid on the floor doing nothing, and then Tim with his Australian accent. Did I say Tim or Jim?
You said Tim,
Jim.
Jimmy, Timmy, same thing.
Jimmy Tim, whatever. Anyways, I don't think they're gonna lie too much. Well, yeah. So he gave us a show as well. Another person is, you guys remember Daniel back in season 1? Yeah. So he he thought it would be a fun idea to teach people how to play the quarterback position, and he failed to realize that he was using all these terms like out of his playbook, right? So nobody knew what they meant. He was like, "Yeah, this is a Wildcat 4 formation," and like nobody knows what that means because every like college, high school playbook has different names for everything, right? That's kind of how playbooks work. So he spewed nonsense the whole time. It was kind of funny.
I spewed nonsense all the time, so
Fair.
The only way to teach classes.
yes, sir.
True.
Oh,
Teaching
during
classes
virtual camps,
online
yeah.
is actually pretty interesting,
And that's on what?
On Jaw.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
ASAP. Yes, sir. Rocky. Yes, sir. Welcome to Austin, Texas, ASAP. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And that joke's already out of date, so it's gonna be even more out of date when this episode releases.
The
Or I'm gonna bring the joke back.
we
And
should bring it back an episode before this one releases. So at episode 26, at some point you're gonna hear the ASAP Rocky. Welcome to Austin, Texas. And Austin's gonna be the co-host, so he's gonna be like, wait, what?
or he's just gonna he knows the joke, so
I mean, he knows the
Bro,
joke, but he's
I
gonna be
should be the
confused
co-host
because we're gonna
when we
say
record
Austin and then
episode
welcome to
27.
Austin, Texas.
okay, Kaitlyn, you have another story you'd like to tell us? We just got very sidetracked.
Yeah.
This whole show has been sidetracked.
Yeah. I think I heard the other story like earlier in the beginning episodes too, of how one of your like staff threw a lacrosse ball at a window.
Yep.
And we also had one of those, but it wasn't even like passing to anyone. Like he just thought what would happen if I threw it at the window and just straight at the window.
Yep, that's what happened with us also.
Yeah. And it was a lacrosse ball too. Like I don't know what
Relax, bro.
happened. Yeah.
The story
Let's see-
been told of the
Let's
guy.
see what happens if I throw a hard ball at a window.
And it was it was kind of skillful because it was like our shower house window, so it's not like a wide window. It's one of those like little thin windows in the door. And he like hit smack in the middle of it. It just like shattered the whole thing, and he ended up having to pay to replace the whole door.
Yep. Someone
And they
kicked
got
down a door and they had to replace it. Oh, Alex did. He said that already.
Yeah.
He kicked down a door and it was pretty
I
funny.
remember last summer, people broke down a door because they were playing baseball in the bunkhouse.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Like inside the bunkhouse, they were playing baseball.
A lot of doors get broken at camp.
Yeah, that is true.
It's just a common theme that happens.
Yeah.
So someone does indoor wrestling and just kicks down the door. Someone starts yanking on the door handle too hard. The handle just falls off, and we have 2 weeks before we get a brand new door handle.
We
It's
have
a lot of fun.
There's a latrine next to my lodge that I work at, and I don't know if a scout broke it or if it just kind of broke on its own, but one of the shower doors just like got ripped off the hinges somehow and is just laying next to the shower. And it's been like that for like a whole summer because we keep telling them to fix it and then nobody comes by to fix it. So
Yep. It's like the same thing with a light bulb.
yeah.
Nothing happens until you do it yourself, pretty much.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great.
In camp gets mad that
camp?
you did it yourself.
At camp,
Yeah.
you can essentially just do things for camp and then just expect to be compensated for it. Like, because they
Nope.
literally can't, like, they can't morally and ethically just say, hey, no, that was, you just donated that. They'll be like, yeah, okay, we'll put that in your paycheck or whatever.
I guess I've never really asked, but I've never gotten compensated for anything that I put into camp.
Or
Oh my
can't we
goodness.
essentially just guilt trip our management and being like, hey, listen, you have failed to do this for the past 3 weeks. Staff's tired of it.
That's fair. That's kind of how we are with our kiln, because we don't have a good outlet for it. We just need an adapter, and so it's like we'll just go and buy an adapter and get it working. But then it's like there's other problems with it too, apparently. So then
Yeah.
fix it. Like just get it done.
At one
Wait.
point, our kiln, they cut the wire to it because it became too dangerous. And I was like, oh, okay.
But once you
Nice.
cut the wire, you can't. Well, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They were not
Yeah.
thinking. They were not thinking like at all.
No.
Like the wire can be replaced, just not safely anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh my
has
God.
the story of the person who played lacrosse all night just to get a kiss been told before?
No.
Okay. So, one person, let's call him like Roland, you know? He worked in shooting sports. Okay, let's call him Roland. So one night, he goes up to one of our female trading post staff and says, you know, if I hit the red part on the lacrosse pole, will I get a kiss? And she says, sure. So in case you don't know, the lacrosse pole is a giant, like, tiny, like, really thin pole, but it's really tall. And probably, like,
Yeah.
20 feet up. There's a red bit at the top.
Mhm.
So he spent hours trying to hit that. And he finally did, like, I think at least 3 hours later. Just going, collecting the ball, throwing it, and he never even got a kiss. Because she went to bed.
Bruh.
Who is this?
Roland.
Oh,
Bruh. All right. So, let's just segue into our closing. We've done this for 40 minutes actually. So,
Oh, nice.
did you guys enjoy
this
being
has
on the
been
show?
40 minutes of absolute nonsense, but I love it.
I know.
I hope you guys had fun. Did you enjoy, Kaitlyn?
I had a blast.
That is absolutely epic. Did you enjoy Scotty?
I
Uh,
had, like, a whale of a time, you know?
A whale of a time. Oh, and
Is that
especially
even the
David.
expression?
No.
What do you mean? Is it even an expression? Of course.
David,
Yeah.
did you enjoy it?
Oh,
Enjoy your
absolutely.
time? That is great to hear. All right, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Give
Follow
us
us
a
at
like.
Camp Staff Podcast on Instagram. Tell your friends,
And-
share it.
Follow us on Twitter at staff_podcast. Like us on Facebook at Camp Staff Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And finally, follow our MySpace, which we definitely have in MySpace.
And our
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
and LinkedIn,
We're trying
you
to
know?
get hired.
Mhm.
Also, Tijuana Flats sponsor us,
Sponsor us, Tijuana Flats.
please.
Tijuana
sponsor
Flats,
us.
please sponsor us. Good night,
All right,
everybody.
good.